Well, a local Palestinian resident of Hebron last week protected 5 Orthodox Jews who encountered a violent, angry mob after taking a wrong turn in the city. Well, I-24 News correspondent Mohamad Alkassim went there to speak with the man who saved them.
Back from a trip to the Dead Sea and on their way to the Tomb of the Patriarchs, a site divided between Muslims and Jews, 5 American ultra-Orthodox Jews accidentally entered the West Bank city of Hebron. They apparently took a wrong turn and found themselves in the southern part of the predominantly Palestinian city. It quickly became violent, with their lives clearly in danger, as a group of Palestinian youth threw stones at them before torching their car. The 5 tourists ran up the stairs and sought shelter at the home of Fayez Abu Hamdiya. The Palestinian businessman had just arrived home from work when he heard the noise and let them all in.
They got to this point and I called them. I didn't see any weapon with them, so I called them in. They came up and I went to meet them and let them in.
2 of them slightly injured and all of them shaken. Abu Hamdiya called the Israeli army more than once to inform them of the situation. At first, they did not believe Abu Hamdiya's story. But after a number of phone calls, the army showed up some 50 minutes later.
It took them more than 50 minutes to come. We called them more than 4 times. We all got nervous because it was getting dark.
Abu Hamdiya says he doesn't care what people say. Being human is what he was raised to be, and he didn't think twice about protecting them.
What we did is humanistic. We as Arabs were raised on this.
Mohamad Alkassim joins us now in the studio. Thank you for being with us and for bringing us this unique look at the situation. First of all, if you can tell us, how unusual of a circumstance is this when Israeli Jews go off track and are saved by a local resident?
This isn't unusual. It happens every so often. Let's just keep in mind, David, that not very many Jews go into Palestinian-controlled areas. However, we have heard of stories where Jews go into Ramallah, Nablus, and like this story where they went into Hebron, they were protected or at least found by a Palestinian resident who called either Palestinian police or the Israeli army.
Now, this man, Hamdiya, he really took a personal risk to save these 5 individuals. Has he had threats, or is he worried about his own safety after doing this?
Well, I'm not sure about threats or own safety, but he has been called names. He has been called traitors. He has been criticized harshly by his neighbors and people in Hebron for doing what he did. He doesn't look at it like as if he done something heroic. He looks at it as something that anybody would do to protect lives.
And so he doesn't look at this as having done anything special. This was just simply, as he mentioned, a human thing to do.
Exactly, it's a human thing to do. It must be done to protect lives, especially that these 5 men haven't done anything wrong other than being at the wrong place.
Did he speak to you about the sentiment of these young men in the streets? I mean, does he have a problem with their activities, or did he understand, you know, their acts, their frustration?
Well, what he said is that this was committed by a small, young Palestinian kids. He said the older people in the city wouldn't have done what these kids have done. They're not very easily controlled, and they just acted without thinking.
Well, Mohamad Alkassim, thank you very much for being with us. A very interesting story. Thank you.
My pleasure.